Today, as you can see by the title of this video, we are going to be doing a personality test, not just any personality test. I am trying to guess what Caleb's personality test is on Enneagram. I know that sounds confusing, so here's how it's gonna go. Caleb is gonna take this Enneagram personality test, and I am going to take the Enneagram personality test, but I'm not gonna take the Enneagram personality test based on what I would think. I'm gonna take the test based on what he would think. And
or what she thinks I would think.
What I think he would think. And we're trying to match up and get the same personality test. So, as you can imagine, that would be very difficult for me, someone who's completely opposite of him. But I feel like I know him enough. We'll see. So what do you think about personality tests in general? Give us your honest answer.
I think they suck.
Yeah, so...
The reason she pulled me into this video is because she knows I hate personality tests. I think they're basically as reliable as horoscopes.
Yeah.
Every personality test can fit into any. You can make yourself fit into any category you want. And maybe there's some that are totally the opposite of what you are, but there's enough of them where you could be like probably 3 or 4 of these. It's just another thing for people to use to put themselves in a box.
I know that he doesn't like
and those of you right now who heard that statement and then right now are like, oh, he's a 7, or oh, he's a 4, or oh wow, that's such a 3 thing to say. You're wrong. You're wrong.
By the way, have you tried this seltzer water? It's orange vanilla. It's like one of my new favorite waters. Anyways.
Regular water. What does that say about our personalities?
I like things like spicy, like you never know what's gonna hit your nose, and if you swallow this water wrong...
We have a teacup full of Nutter Butters. What does that say about our personality? Is that on the test?
If you drink this water wrong, it will literally burn your nose. So I kind of like that, like, suspense. Is it gonna burn my nose? Am I gonna freak out? You know?
Are you like, is it coming out your nose?
No, it burns your nose, like, so hard, and it's like, it makes your eyes water a little bit and turn red. I don't know, sometimes when you just swallow it wrong, or you just swallow it, it's like, or you burp, and then it burns your nose. Like, it, like, burns your nose so bad. Have you ever experienced that?
No, I've never experienced that. I don't know what you're doing.
Well, I've experienced that, like, a couple times last night with this water,
So we're gonna take this test.
Let's begin.
Now this is what we're gonna do. She's gonna have her computer, which is slowly being put in right here. I'm gonna read aloud the question. I'm gonna answer the question on my little phone here. They're the same questions, same test. She's gonna answer as well on her computer. Once the answers are locked in, we don't change them. But then we're gonna discuss what we chose and why. And then we should continue the next one.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do. I was thinking about, yes. Okay, well, I'm gonna answer the question first. Like, we're both gonna answer it at the same time, but don't look at my screen. Even though it's facing you, don't look at it, okay?
The temptation is gonna be really difficult.
Don't look, okay. The reason is I'm gonna say mine first, and then he's gonna say the actual answer because I'm trying to like match his answer.
Yeah, that's the better way. She said it better than I did.
Mine is like, I'm trying to get the right answer, and his is the right answer. Let's begin.
First question.
I don't want you to look.
If you don't know how the Enneagram works on this particular test, apparently it's one of those where you have 5 boxes. The furthest box on the right is the most accurate. The furthest box on the left is the least accurate. In the middle is neutral. And then I guess it's almost accurate or almost inaccurate. That's what I'm guessing the other 2 are. So it's gonna be like a blanket statement. Also, what does this say about my personality? She's been wanting me to get a new phone case forever. But this phone case, you can't really see it because the light has this little metal thing.
Here, get up close.
This little metal thing, which is nice fidget, and it also props up the phone. Okay? So that's why I like it, and I'm not getting rid of it.
And I think it's really ugly, and I think he needs a new one because it's not cute. He just needs
practicality,
a nice aesthetic.
There you go.
Aesthetically pleasing. I strive for perfection.
Starting out strong here.
I strive for I did it again. I strive for perfection. Inaccurate. Almost inaccurate. Neutral. Almost accurate and accurate.
There's nothing. I'm gonna go based on what I think about myself. There's nothing she's gonna say that's gonna change my mind. is what I'm deciding right now. What does that say about me, Enneagram people?
I know there's a question like that. The first question, I say that he's almost accurate.
Why?
I say that he's almost accurate because when you do things, like when you want to do a project, it literally has to be perfect or you won't do it at all. I say that there's other things where you don't care. Like, it'll be like, whatever. I mean, that's kind of normal for people. If they don't really care about it, like, they're just like, whatever. Okay, what is your answer?
I put right down the middle, neutral. For pretty much the same reasons you said. If I actually care about it, it has to be perfect. I don't want to put something out there that isn't good or excellent or pleasing. If I don't care about it, I don't care at all.
I guess it would be better neutral then. But
no, you already decided.
I know, I already decided.
But if I don't care about it, I don't care about it at all. And I wouldn't say there's more things that I care about than don't care about it. Yeah, it's either the greatest and I have to focus on it and it'd be the best thing ever, or it literally doesn't matter to me.
Interesting.
So
all right.
I neutrally strive for perfection.
Next question. I work hard to be helpful to others. I'd say neutral.
Okay, why?
Because almost for the same reason. You will go out of your way to help people if it means a lot to you, but sometimes you just, if it's not, then you'll be like, you'll just won't.
I actually agree. That's neutral. Same thing as before. If I'm like in it and my mind's like, this is what I'm choosing to do, I'm like all for it.
Mm-hmm. Once your mind's
100% in it and I'm in it. If I'm not in it, I'm checked out.
It is important to me that other people like me. Inaccurate.
Why?
I feel like you actually want people to like you, but I wouldn't say that you would say it's important for people.
Isn't that kind of an oxymoron?
Well, I just think that you actually do want people to like you, but that you will be like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't care. This is who I am, so yeah.
Sounds like bitterness.
Almost
inaccurate. Because it's important that very specific people like me. Everybody across the board, I don't care. Like, it's whatever. Very specific people, my wife, my mom, very select friends, basically my family. I would like that my family likes me. But really, other than that, it's like, if you don't like me, sorry.
Yeah. I feel like we're saying the right
thing.
Honestly,
if you don't like me, I just won't be around you. Because, it's like whatever. I don't really need people.
Need that approval.
Yeah,
You don't need that approval.
Like, if anything, if you don't like me and you're, like, very vocal about it, it's just a reason for me not to be around you, which is fine with me.
Next question. It is important to me to achieve great things. I'm going to say neutral. Well, I honestly think that you might say inaccurate, like it's not really that important, but at the same time, I feel like you do, but I feel like it's not like the most important thing. It's definitely not I know it's not the most important thing for you, but I know that you would want to achieve great things, but it's not like, I guess the question is, it is important to me to achieve great things. I don't really feel like it's that important to you. I'm gonna say neutral. I feel like I'm struggling with this question, but I'm kind of like on these two sides, so I'm gonna say neutral.
This is the issue with this particular test.
I know, it's hard. You just have to go roll with it. Roll with it.
What is the definition of great things? Is it great things by like the world standards? Like, hey, you need to have this multi-million-dollar business. Or like great things by what standard? Like, what is the definition of great things? Is it great things to me? Because I might think a great thing is something that isn't that great. In which case, maybe I really am dedicated to achieving those not so great things. In which case, I'd be super high. Or what if I am judging it by like, hey, you need to have a multi-million-dollar business? In that case, it's completely inaccurate that I would have...
Great things to you. I think it's what you describe as great.
Well, if I think something's great, then yeah, I want to achieve it.
Well,
then it's completely accurate. It's completely accurate all the way if it's something I think's great. But if it's something that's just generally like what is great, it could be anything. Could be anything. And if that's the case, then I'm like, no, I don't care about like having a multi-million-dollar business or having some kind of like, worldly standard of greatness and success. So, I don't know. I'm putting accurate because the things that I think are great, I wanted to get married. It was very important to me that I got married in my life. It was something I thought was a great thing. And I did. Depends on the standards that you have, I guess. But for me, I'm putting accurate.
All right. Well, I already put neutral. Okay. Next question. I make more significant contributions than the average person. I'm gonna say.
It's gonna sound like a shot. I already feel it. I already feel it in my gut.
It's really hard.
It's really hard because she wants to be nice.
I do want to be nice.
But at the same time, her actual answer is inaccurate.
I feel like you feel like, I don't know. If I'm saying this like you.
No, you're saying this what you think of me.
Okay. No, it's not what I think of you. It's
okay. No, it's good. She put inaccurate, people. She put I make no significant. I am insignificant in my contributions compared to the average person. The average person does way more than me.
I'm putting neutral. I put neutral.
Yeah, I'm gonna say inaccurate. I'd say that I make about the same contribution as the average person.
I'd say about the average person.
I don't make more significant contributions than the average person. I'd say I'm about average.
Yeah.
And some days I might be below average. Some days I might be above average.
But I feel like everybody's like that.
But when the question is phrased, I make more significant contributions than the average person. I'd say, I'm probably about average. So, I'd say inaccurate is correct.
I'd say I'm average too. Next question. I feel my emotions very deeply. I'd say accurate. You do feel your emotions very deeply. But you have like self-control too, if you want. But I feel like when you have emotions, you really like take it to the Lord and you're like, I feel these emotions, and you let the Lord work on them in you. So
yeah, it's pretty accurate. I'm an emotional human being.
You are.
I'll just start crying. Don't know why. Start crying over things. I've bottled up a lot of stuff. This is gonna turn to therapy session.
I know.
I bottled up so much stuff.
I think this is cuter.
And then it just all comes out randomly in moments. It's like, oh, didn't realize that was there.
Cheers.
Start crying.
It's good. We all do that. If you should do that. If you're not doing that, then you should be doing
I don't know.
that.
It depends on the emotion.
Because you need to assess.
I was getting super deep with this. I don't feel like overly happy deeply. Whenever people say I feel my emotions very deeply, there's a wide range of emotions. You could be like a super angry person, in which case this is an accurate statement. Or you could be a super happy person, in which case this is an accurate statement. Super sad person. But what if you're like, you feel one really heavily, but you don't feel the other really heavily? Does that make you a neutrally emotional person? Normally when these questions are described, they're always think of like the negative emotions, right? Like, oh, I'm sort of an emotional, dramatic, sad person, which makes this a yes. And then the inaccurate side would be, I don't feel any emotion, whatever, I'm as hard as a rock, you know? But what about the person that's like, just happy?
That's an emotion.
It's an emotion. So if I don't feel relatively like, oh my gosh, bursting with joy all the time, and then occasionally now and then I'm just like, I really feel sad about something. Does that make me accurate, inaccurate, or neutral?
It's just if you feel like you're kind of an emotional person, like you really take, and emotional isn't bad. We're emotional. We're meant to be emotional and have emotions. It's just when you're not able to take the emotions to the Lord and to deal with it properly, and you're letting the best.
When I have emotion, I feel it very deeply.
I think you do.
When I don't have emotion, I don't feel it at all. I'm saying accurate, but
I said accurate.
It could be inaccurate what I just said. I don't know. What's your standard, Truett? Or whatever this website is?
Truity.
What's your standard, huh?
I have a sense that other people will never truly understand me. I say accurate.
I agree. I don't even understand myself 90% of the time. What makes me think that somebody else can figure it out?
I'm going to make this point. There's a lot of questions right now, so we might need... I think deeply about things. I say accurate. You're a very big thinker.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I'm prepared. I would say kind of neutral, but inaccurate. Neutral. I'd say in between, like
so
almost.
She would
inaccurate.
say almost inaccurate.
Yeah, almost inaccurate, because I feel like you're kind of like you're not really like thinking about a disaster. And so you're not really worried about it because you're trusting the Lord in it. So it's not like you're like preparing for a disaster. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I'd say I'm almost inaccurate. I think there's
Same thing. We said the same thing.
Yeah, very small things I'll think are worth worrying about, but otherwise.
Okay, next question.
What about it?
It is important to me to avoid pain and neutral times. I seek out experiences that I know will make me feel happy or excited. I say accurate.
Almost all the time I try to do that, but not all the time.
Okay. I see the positive, almost accurate. I think that you're maybe you're neutral, because a lot of times you're like, I think that the Lord in you is positive.
Yeah, I'd say almost inaccurate, because I don't feel like I'm a very positive person. Matter of fact, most of the time I'm pretty pessimistic.
Up on yours?
No, it's great. I see the positive situation, it would be almost inaccurate, I would say, because most of the time I'm running through this lens of like, okay, what could go wrong and how am I going to respond? You know, I have a very critical eye. It's not a good thing. It's something I hope to get rid of someday. But if I'm going to be honest, very critical. It's not vocalized here, vocalized.
When you're comfortable, it's vocalized.
I mean, most of you probably saw that from the beginning of this video, the way I think about personality tests. That
I am not afraid to tell someone when I think they are wrong, and I would say that is 100% accurate.
I'd say almost accurate. There's a very select few people.
That's true. Certain people.
Intimidated by. But for the most part.
I let other people make the decisions. I was going for neutral. Dang it, I was going for neutral.
I say neutral.
Dang it.
To be fair, she sees me more than I see me, so she probably has a better grid for my actual decision. So she actually might be accurate when it comes to this. So also another thing I don't like about personality tests is you're biased towards yourself.
Yeah.
You have a tendency to think better of yourself than you actually are. Or maybe you have a tendency to think worse of yourself than you actually are. Regardless, that's why personality tests are also done. Your mom should take every personality test for you.
Yeah, because your mom sees.
Your mom knows you. My mom knows me 100% better than I know myself. 100% better. I know the inner thoughts, but when it comes to like who I am and what I do, my mom knows me 100% more. If you want an accurate test, have your mom neutral.
Yeah.
If I have to make a decision, I will. But otherwise, I'm okay with not having to make a decision.
I would say that's literally what he would say. So me putting this down doesn't really equate, because I would say, I knew he was going to say that. So I appreciate having rules that people aren't. I'm going to say he says neutral.
I'm going to say almost accurate, but again, it always depends on the rules. If the rules are stupid and they don't make sense, and they're just there because people just want to have control over something, I'm not for it. But if the rules make sense and they're like wisdom, then yeah, I'm all for it. I'm going to put almost accurate because I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go against what I said earlier, and I'm going to think positively.
I am concerned about security more than anything else. I'm going to say neutral. I think he thinks it's important, security, but I don't think that it's the...
I agree. I think it's important. I put neutral. I think it's important, but I don't think it's like something I need to be literally thinking about 100% of the time. Sorry, I'm not like a soldier or some kind.
I think a lot about what will happen in the future. I think that's almost accurate. I think he thinks about the future a lot, but he tries to stay in the present and be focused on what the Lord's doing right now.
Historically, I have thought about the future too much to where I was not present, and now I'm trying to be more present. So I guess in the more recent, another issue with these personality tests, in the more recent time, I've tried to be more about the present, but who knows? I put almost accurate.
I don't fit in with ordinary people. I feel like you do, but I feel like you or almost accurate.
I'd say accurate. I feel like I don't fit in with people. In general, like another issue with this personality
I mean, that's
thing.
what I meant to say. I meant to say that I agree.
Let me tell you. This personality thing, there's another issue with it. Who defines what ordinary people are? There's like ordinary people in Texas are dramatically different than ordinary people in Southern California, who are dramatically different than ordinary people in Omaha, who are dramatically different than ordinary people in, you name it.
Excuse me.
Ordinary people are all different shapes and sizes and personalities, and what's normal and ordinary in a certain culture might be dramatically different than what's ordinary and normal in another culture. Another issue with this question. So I'd say I'm accurate in the sense where, for the most part, if I don't know you or have like a deep relationship with you, I'm probably going to be awkward and not feel comfortable or feel like I fit. So, accurate.
There is rarely a good reason for changing how things. I'm gonna say you say neutral. You haven't made your decision. I shouldn't tell you so it doesn't sway your.
Again, it's not changing my opinion. I'm thinking about this.
But in the moment, if you had.
I'm gonna say neutral. I mean, I don't like this question in general. It's like, sure, there could be, in a certain scenario, if something's been done for a long time, don't change it because it's good and it works. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, change it. Like, that's pretty much simple. If something works as efficiently as possible, don't change it.
You're more about the result.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like, there's rarely a good reason for changing. I mean, if there's a good reason, change it. If there's not, then don't. But I don't know about how often it is. It just depends on the thing. It's a dumb question. Neutral.
I always finish my chore. I'd say accurate because if you need to get something done, you just do it. You know what I mean? I think you do it.
Yeah. My mom would say not at all. I would say neutral. And the reason I say neutral is because I'm not always one to like. I'm not always just like conscious of like, oh, this needs to get done,
That's
so
true.
I'm gonna do it. But if I know something needs to get done and it's my responsibility, I will get it done.
Yeah, I knew that.
So
that's what I meant. Like,
that's
if
why I
you
put
know.
neutral. But I'm not always like, oh, I just noticed that this thing needs to get picked up. Like, it's just so outside of my realm of what I'm like thinking about.
Okay. I am always trying to be. I'd say, well, this is hard because I feel like when it comes to the Lord and stuff that involves the Lord, I feel like 100% accurate. You're always trying to like grow in the Lord. But there's things where, like, there's lots of different categories where I could be like, well, I don't think that that's really not that important to you, so you're just not growing in that. But I feel like that's with a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not important to them, then, but it's just like, what is your idea? So I'm gonna say neutral.
I feel like that's probably the most important thing. Is
I mean, with the Lord.
I'm very critical of myself. I'm very aware of like where I'm flawed and where I want to like grow, and so yeah. In an ideal world, I'm always thinking of, gosh, how could I be better? Which always translates into me sounding very negative against myself.
I check carefully for mistakes. I would say accurate.
Again, I'm gonna say neutral. If it's something that's important to me, yes. If it's not, I'm just like, it's done. Get it over with.
I like to be around people who I can help.
I'm also gonna say neutral.
I like to feel that I am an important person. I'm gonna say neutral. I guess yours.
My social groups. I'm gonna say neutral because I'm like, in my mind, I feel like everybody wants to feel important. If I have too much responsibility, I get overwhelmed.
It is important to me to be successful. I'm gonna say neutral.
Depends on your definition of success. It's literally, what did I put for that one? So, accurate? In my definition of success,
you said accurate.
Yes, I want to be successful based on what I think is,
Okay.
based on what the world thinks is successful, maybe not.
That's why I put neutral, because it depends. If it's your definition of success, then yes, I know you want to be. But if it's other people's definition, then I'd be like, probably not. So that's why I put neutral, because
You can never live up to other people's standards, people.
they don't die. The organizations I belong to would not function well. I would say, you would say.
I'm gonna say neutral. I feel like I'm a pretty good worker at what I do.
Yeah, you are.
You know, at least with the job that I do, it's like, technically, there's always, neutral, you know?
Yeah. I often feel overtaken. I'm gonna say I'm debating.
I agree.
Accurate. I have always felt different from other people. I'm gonna say accurate.
I 100% agree. When I was younger, I thought I was better than everybody else, and when I got older, I thought I was worse than everybody else. But either way,
I like to analyze things from every angle. I will say accurate. I always have a plan for what I would do if things go wrong. I would say
neutral. Depends on what happens. I don't have a plan for if a bear just came through this door and attacked us. I don't have a plan for that. You know, just one example of.
I avoid situations that bring up negative feelings.
I agree. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just sit there and like just think about stuff, and then you're just sitting there and you're like, why do I feel this way right now? Why am I thinking about this horrible scenario that it's called vain imaginations, people?
Don't do it.
Repent.
Repent, for the kingdom is at hand. Okay, I seek excitement.
Depends on your definition of exciting, right? By people's standards of excitement, like adrenaline, no.
Right.
I don't like that. Not at all. My definition of excitement is like, oh man, I'm so excited that I get to have a cup of coffee and sit and listen to soaking music. Like, oh man, it's so exciting. You know, in that situation, yes, I seek excitement. So I'm gonna say accurate. And then it's gonna totally mess up this result of this test because they're thinking that I'm like a roller coaster guy, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So if that was the case, I just answered opposite. Another problem with personality tests, people.
Another problem.
Can this video be called Debunking the Personality Test?
That's probably what we should call it, in parentheses. I can clearly visualize what could happen in the future. I'm going to say neutral because I think you can see things like what would happen. I think a lot of times you can see like this might happen if this happened. If these people are doing this, then I think you oftentimes can see, like you can tell based on what's happening. But then a lot of times there's vain imagination, so I'm going to say neutral.
I agree.
Average people often find me a bit weird. I guess.
Share my rant earlier about depends your definition of average. I'm gonna say neutral as well.
Am unusual. I am an unusual, almost accurate person.
Depends on what you're talking about. Some things are normal, some things.
I just got a text from my sister saying about her baby, my nephew, that he's all dressed up like a cowboy. And I'm so glad to see it. I feel most comfortable in organizations with a clear hierarchy. I'm going to say neutral.
That's such a stupid question.
It is.
But I don't even know what the heck that means. I'm saying neutral.
I make plans for many years into the future. I would say inaccurate, but I'm going to say inaccurate.
I just helped you, but
yes. Yeah, you did.
Like, not much of a planner. No. I just don't.
That's me.
That's right.
I'm the planner and the dreamer in one person. How is that possible?
I don't know what I am in that. I don't know what
I know. Normally, each couple has a planner and a dreamer. But I am both.
She's the dreamer. I'm the one who says, how the heck are you going to get there? And then she kind of figures out how she's going to get there.
Because I'm the planner also.
Good job.
But he kind of is like...
I'm the critic.
Yeah, critic.
I'm just nothing but a jerk.
No! No, that's not true.
I just say, hey, this doesn't make sense. What you're doing.
I am unusually unique person. I would say accurate. That's why I married you.
Everyone's unique, man.
Everybody is unique. I am an important member of my social... I'd say you are.
I'd say my social groups consist of like me and like a couple friends. In which case, it's pretty important.
Yeah, it is.
It's like
because you're like one half.
It's like 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
You know, that's a third. You remove one of me, and then there's only 2.
You remove you, and then there's only That's what I'm saying, but I feel like you have answered this question, and you said neutral.
No, the question is just worded differently. It's worded slightly different enough to where you can answer differently. And they want you to answer the same because they think that you're just one particular person, but nobody's the same.
Well, what did you answer?
I don't remember, but I answered it.
And then you moved on.
Let's move on.
We have to answer the same thing.
I think I put almost inaccurate. I'm important.
Get my results! We have the results! We have the results! We have the results! Let's see what they're the same. Whoa! I feel like you need to see this. Can we record it?
I don't understand this.
Okay.
How does this even work? Do I have to pay money?
No.
See, this is why these tests are so popular, is because they make you think that they're good, but they're all in it because you gotta pay.
Okay, hold on 1 second now. 5 looks like that's the biggest. So you have to look at, these are my results for Caleb.
Name.
Oh.
5.
They are literally the same with a wing 4. It's 5 wing 4. And I said 5 wing 4. Wow! Did I get it right?
According to this test, but we gave different answers.
But a lot of them were the same.
It's all bogus.
It's all bogus, he says. Is that what a 5 says? Let's see. Oh, okay, so 264 match, 341, 486%, 5. To read this to you. So 5 is described as the investigator. 5s seek understanding and knowledge and are more comfortable with data than people. And then your wing is 4, and 4 is known as the individualist. 4s want to be unique and live life authentically and are highly attuned to their emotional experience.
I don't know. Most people are probably like that.
So
this website's bogus. You can't even see the full description.
yeah, you can't see the full description of it, but now we know that he's a 5. He had a 98% match with, you matched with a lot of them. He had like 60s and 70s for everything else, except 3 was a 41% match.
Wow, so basically I fit
Into every
every category, like every personality test. Wow, turns out you can be anything, and this thing just puts you in a box.
Wait.
What I think about these things.
64, 41.
If I read
86.
any of these, that means if I got any of these, I would read it and think, oh yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, that's me. Because they have a little bit of everybody in it.
Yeah, they do.
So these personality tests are just like everything else. They're just so vague. They're vague enough to where you can see yourself in any one of them.
Yeah, probably. Let's see what else there is about. 5s believe their resources are scarce. Oh, I'm not gonna read that. Anyways, all in all, I feel like I did a pretty good job.
She's a good wife. She knows me. She's a good wife.
Knowing
She did
you.
it. Yeah, she did it. She did good.
Based on a silly personality test that we don't really know is correct or not, but I think that was really fun. I kind of
For those of you that idolize this test, you're gonna look at this and think, it's pretty accurate. Or, oh my gosh, that's exactly like it. And you know what? If that helps you, praise God. As for me,
And
I probably won't ever think about this test ever again.
it's interesting. I never knew your Enneagram, and now I know it.
I feel like I took this a long time ago, and I wasn't that.
What were you?
I don't remember. It was like a 2, or maybe I was a 7, maybe I was a 9. I have no idea.
You just...
Dude, I'm serious. I took it before, and it wasn't a 5. I remember it wasn't a 5. But you know what? 5 is the number for grace. So I have grace on my life. Praise God. Hallelujah.
And 4 is creation. Does that mean we're having a baby? On that note, he's done. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you just laughed along with us. If you know Caleb, this was really fun. If you don't know him, well, I hope you just had fun and enjoyed this. I think it was really fun to do this. If you have any other ideas of what we should do or anything you want us to talk about or me talk about, I don't know that Caleb's gonna do it. Comment anything you want below. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Subscribe. It really means a lot. And we'll see you next time.